Evening all, welcome to another episode of Warriors of Attraction. Andrea Evans isn't going to be with us as she's got a course happening, so good luck to her. I know she'll be watching this on repeat. So, tonight we're going to be diving into adversity, identity. So, it's going to be a bit of a mixed match. So, obviously, we've got welcome back Andrea, as she likes to be pronounced, Andrea Mason, who's got a challenge for me again. I don't know what it is. And we've got human GPS Kerry Burr, so I've seen 60 seconds. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Cheers.
Yeah. Hello, Lisa Cressy. Hello, Annette Chiappi. Hello, Stella. Hope you're well. Please share this, everyone. Right. How do I go about this? Kerry Burr, I'm going to start with you. So I'm saving the fear for after from Andrea. So how's it feel? Because I've seen you a little bit of dancing in the background there with that tune. So how's it feel to be back on here? The energy.
Oh no, you know what? I always enjoy being on here live with you guys. You know, and it's that tune kicks in and it just kind of like okay.
It takes you back, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say. Well, it does take me back, but you know, it's a nice upbeat tune, isn't it? So it's a good little thing to sort of lift everybody's spirits, lift the energy a bit.
Exactly. So, Andrea, the challenge. I have to say it, the challenge. Before we dive into tonight's topic, what is it?
Absolutely. From last week, you brought the rain, so it's raining here. So I'm going to keep you inside and dry. Today's challenge is going to be a fun mental challenge for your mind. So we're going to take it back. We're going to keep it jovial and keep everyone smiling. So my challenge for you is to say 3 times, rubber baby buggy bumpers.
A what?
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. 3 times. Without making a mistake.
Can I write this down?
Pardon me?
Can I write it down?
Of course. I'll give you
that. Right. What are the words again?
Okay. Rubber, baby.
Yeah.
Buggy. Bumpers. Okay, 3 times. Yes, sir. Without making a mistake. Yes.
Okay.
But not
Kerry's laughing. Kerry's laughing here. She's laughing here. You should see her face. Have you just written it down as well, Kerry?
No.
Okay. Right. I'm going to embarrass myself, ladies and gentlemen, here.
You had to bring a challenge this week. So
yeah.
I did.
Right, okay. Right, here we go. I've written it down, so I'm going to go it. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Rubber... Already? Try again. Can I start again?
Of course.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Yes.
I'm not doing it faster.
You had to do it faster, but I'll let it slide this time.
No, I'll go for it then. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Forget it. Go away. Go away. Go away.
I was going to say, you're all right. We've got an hour. Carry on.
All right.
You've got an hour.
Yeah. Forget that. No, forget that.
Now, do you know the reason why I brought that to the table?
No.
is because it coincides with our topic, adversity versus identity.
Okay.
Adversity, when you make a mistake, individuals have some connotation, some judgment, some label, some perspective about you. Oh, he can't say it. Oh, he's making a fool out of himself. But your identity defines you are a man of integrity, authenticity. You are taking and up for the willingness of the challenge, which you requested last week. So adversity will make us do uncomfortable things, but it's our identity that aligns with our morals, ethics, and beliefs to say, you know what? I'm going to try, because if I don't try, I fail. If I don't try, I'm not taking a risk.
Well, honestly, I didn't feel uncomfortable doing it. I didn't.
Okay. But some
And
people would. Some
people would, yeah. And life's about taking those risks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, obviously, I'd like to know, like, obviously, from both of you, even the human GPS here who knows the stuff, who keeps saying stress is a choice to carry, which Kerry's given me the nod, that still disagrees. Adversity, when you're trapped there, is trapped the right word? I don't know. When you're experiencing that, how much does it actually impact your identity moving forward?
Can I just interject here?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say trapped is the wrong word. Trapped is a word that some people would use,
Yeah,
because they would believe that they are stuck in a situation or trapped in this situation and there is no way out.
yeah,
that in itself is causing them to, if they haven't already got that identity of not being able to do something, not being able to find a solution, a workable plan or anything like that, then they're going to take on that identity. And, you know, with that belief there being that I'm stuck, I'm trapped, you know, it's I mean, we've all been there. we have. Been there. So, you know, we can all of us speak from its experience. I know that much. And we will all of us continue to experience some form and degree of adversity throughout life. You know, it's just things happen that we have no control over. It's about dealing with and working with the things that we can control.
Yes,
absolutely. And I believe that is true because it stems from all spectrums. You look at an athlete who has trained all their life to get to a certain caliber or level, if you will. Like I'm a former soccer player, and my goal was to go to the top. But unfortunately, I blew out both of my knees at different time frames, which in conjunction of another matter had suspended my ability to pursue my dream. And a testament to you, Kerry, is I identified myself as an athlete, as a soccer player.
Yeah.
Now my disabilities, my limitations have harnessed me for some time. And that was the adversity I had to overcome, but create an identity. I'm not solely just an athlete. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a speaker, and so forth. So when we talk about adversity, those are the unexpected occurrences that we sometimes can predict, sometimes can, if it's a medical condition or an ailment or an injury or a loss of some sort. But that allows us to create identities. If you look at 2020, when the world shut down, a lot of individuals lost their homes, lost their businesses, lost their income. So that was the adversity that society and the world had undergone. But how many people have either thrived, survived, or made the best out of it by creating another identity of themselves? Hey, you know what? I'm not just a banker. I've created my passion, skills, and talents. Now I'm a creator and so forth. A lot of people went to the digital platforms. So that's what I would add on to as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've all got, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? We've all got that creative ability. It's,
We do.
do we actually tap into it?
Right.
You know, and everybody's creative ability is going to be a little bit different from the next person's. But yeah, I mean, I love this this topic of identity, because anything, any experience in life can actually fit into that thing, that
Category. Title.
Come on, Karen.
It's Friday.
I've
It's
had
okay.
enough coffee today, but
Excuses.
it is 8 o'clock on a Friday evening. Come on.
It's like it's 8:15.
Oh, I'm sorry. 13 minutes past 8 if we're being precise. Yeah, no, I do. It reminds me of like very early on. I think it's in chapter 2 of Atomic Habits, and you know, he's talking about creating new habits or changing habits, introducing new habits. And it's not just about deciding that you're going to introduce a new activity into your morning routine or something, you know, like exercise. It's about taking on a whole new identity. And that kind of, for me, it kind of it links very closely with things like affirmations and intentions and manifestation. You know, you've got to be something for it to actually happen, for you to be able to think in a particular way, to start believing something about yourself. I mean, when you think about it, I also kind of liken it to actors. Yeah, they'll have a specific character to play, a specific role to play within the program, film, whatever. And to be able to portray that character really well, they've got to do all the background work, all the background research, and they've got to find out all the really tiny, most important parts and details of that particular character. So you're talking about things like, you know, perhaps let's go back for, you know, look at the character's history, their upbringing, for example, what kind of environment they grew up in. So looking at all of their experiences, you're looking at things like that character's particular beliefs about the world at large, about themselves, specific situations. You're looking at their values, the things that are, you know, in different scenarios as well, in different situations. And they're just a few of the things, but it's taking on those things, it's taking those things on board, taking all of them on board to become that character, to be able to portray that character really well. You know, and it's exactly the same really when we are looking at dealing with anything in life, whether it's bringing in a new habit, getting rid of an old one, doing something a bit differently, looking for a solution for a problem. You know, it's all of those things. All of those things have to be taken into consideration. And I think this is why experience, particularly as in the environment that we've grown up in, that we live in, that we've experienced ourselves, it's all, each of us will have had a very different experience. And that and a multitude of other things will determine on how well we actually deal with certain situations. You know, in particular, anything that can be considered to come under the umbrella of adversity. That covers a bit of a range of things, doesn't it, really?
Absolutely. What is your takes as far as, Adam, your your thoughts on adversity and identity as changed?
Straight away, I believe, and I know Kerry's probably going to shout at me if I get this wrong, but if people are stuck in that adversity, then that's going to really impact their self-identity. Absolutely. Like, I know from experience, I was playing all these roles to try and people please different people all at once, and obviously that's under the mask as well. But when you experience adversity, then you're going to struggle to gain and develop that self-resilience to move forward.
Absolutely. And I think it's the losses and the pains, as I mentioned last week, that's what's gonna, you can either stay in the past or learn from the past. And
yes,
we all go through pains, but when we shift the channel and change a channel, what is the lesson out of it? You know, whatever your adversity is, how did you go through it? How did you overcome it? You're still here. And what can you do to educate or increase the awareness and acknowledgement to other individuals, whether it's through divorce, a medical condition, a mental health condition, as well as stigmatism? I mean, the list can go on, but it goes to that cliche, someone's trash is someone's treasure. You know, when you feel like, you know, you're not doing well and you're not going well through something, it's really hard, but this too shall pass. And when you allow it to pass and move forward, take a step back to look back and say, well, what did I learn from it? Not only something that for myself, but what did I learn from it that I can teach somebody who's in that role now that I've moved forward? It's a teaching kind of component, and that is what allows you to increase your identity. Wow, I'm a, you know, a lot of people say I'm a survivor of such and such condition, or, you know, a survivor of this, or I've, you know, got out of bankruptcy, or I've got out of a unhealthy divorce. What is the other side of the perspective that you can now add on to your identity and add them to go to your people pleasing perspective and mode? That's where I guess we all were at one point, or still at now, because that's what society is. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. You want to make sure that you are keeping the peace. But when you do that, you lose your identity because you feel restrained of expressing your emotions, your thoughts, your words, and your feelings.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I would also go so far to say, just continuing on from what you've been saying there, Andrea, is that you know, there's always a reason for people pleasing. And essentially what we're doing is we're looking for validation externally.
Yeah.
It's that acceptance thing. It's you know, yeah, we do like you. Yeah, you are good enough. You are a good person.
Right.
You know? And well done you. So yeah, I get that. Been there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is what I would do, because Andrea, you mentioned the word society, and I think that's brilliant and crucial, because I was browsing through social media like TikTok yesterday, and also I understand, like, it's Pride Month, and I think that's brilliant. And obviously when I'm out in town, everyone's got the rainbow coloured outfits on, banners, a lot, and I think, wow, brilliant. They're raising awareness for it. They're spreading the message, but it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well, which every day is that anyway. And there's very little being done about it. So I thought, do I attack the situation or do I do something about that? So I didn't attack it. I actually heard back and thought, right, I'm going to duet some videos. I'm going to put a message out there. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. And
to raise
you know
that awareness.
And it's funny, I do have a playlist of empowering men on my YouTube channel discussing this.
I've seen it.
You know, for me, as a female, I grew up, I had no siblings when I was younger. My sibling didn't come until later. And all my cousins were guys. There was like 7 of them. So I understood both sides of the coin because I was able to see what they were experiencing, their emotions, their anger, their frustration, their mannerisms, and then what was brought down from either the patriarchal lineage of their family, or if it wasn't existent, what they adopted. You're supposed to be, the breadwinner, the caretaker, the warrior, and you're not supposed to cry or what have you. But I think it's important that we start rising and uniting and just stop with the conquer and dividing. But to your point, Adam, it's just unfortunate, like any month. What happens?
It's everywhere, Annette. It's everywhere.
It happens for a month. It's spotlighted. Everybody support it, and as soon as that month is over, we're back to normal. There should, or it's forgotten. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very, very unfortunate because, the analogy I make is, and I think I said this last week too, so pardon me, but is when we go to a concert or we go to a theme park and everybody of every background, belief system and everything is there enjoying the same thing. But if you're on the street or something and you're with a crowd that doesn't accept or doesn't approve of something, that's when it's most prominent. And the more we start realizing we are more like than we are different, then we can attack the compartmentalized adversity of life and start appreciating our uniqueness and our own identity and come to unity. I mean, think about it. It's just a beautiful thing. Let's speak about humanity as opposed to divinity. Like, not division. Pardon me, division.
Yes.
Division.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word quick enough, but yeah, division, because we're all the same. Think about it. We just different chapters of the book of life. That's all. Which page or chapter?
And that's what I say. That's what I say when we want change in this world. Now, I do admit, and I'm going to say this straight up, bluntly, this country is fucked up. It is. And
let's be honest, we're all up.
Of course. Come on, let's not go down that rabbit hole tonight. But maybe a little bit.
Oh, God. Can I just say that, Andrea, I want to give you a huge round of applause for what you just said there, because I wholeheartedly agree. We all have our own opinions on things, and I do my absolute utmost to not be judgmental of anyone.
Absolutely, yes.
However, opinions can still be a little bit judgmental. And I have a few that I know that are. But one in particular I think is a great shame that we have to spotlight. We're in a position where these different things have to be spotlighted and highlighted.
Yeah.
So, periodically throughout the year, for people to remind people to be aware of these things, for people to be socially accepted. And then it's like, hello. Right. We shouldn't be doing this right now. We shouldn't, not anymore. Absolutely. Not anymore. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's one thing to realize our differences, but to be educated, knowledgeable, and learn about the differences. When the world shut down, this is my first ability to connect with individuals all over the world. And I have spoken on all platforms, TV, radio, and podcasts over the world. And the image that I got from certain countries and continents were completely different from when I actually spoke with them. And it's crazy because I did a video of this, and it's a crazy exercise when you think about it. So I'm going to take a few moments, if you will. So I want everyone to kind of just close their eyes, and I'm going to say four words, and then I'll tell you what to do afterwards. Don't worry, there's no harm involved. So you're going to close your eyes. I'm going to say the word police officer. I'm going to say the word garbage man or woman. I'm going to say a teacher. I'm going to say a mental health patient. And I'm going to say someone who's in poverty. Now I'm going to count back from 3. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Now think of those images or people that you had when I said that. boom, erase it because you've just been labeled of what you considered in your definition as an identity of who those are. And that is adversity. Because there's no label, there's no bias, there's no definition of any of those characters. Because a police officer could be a Caucasian male, an African-American woman, an Indian man, a police officer, a teacher. We think of most matriarchs and women in that facility. Who's to say it's not the scientist, the male who teaches science? The one in poverty. We see people who are lazy, or we kind of put the connotation of people who gave up or who did something malicious to get them to that route. And that's one of the exercises that I feel is so powerful, because when we close our eyes and we take those 5 roles, we're thinking of somebody in our life or somebody in our experience or in the media or something of that nature. But then when you open your eyes and I clap my hands and say, erase that, you've just defined adversity.
Yeah, I just wanna bring up Annette's comments here, because obviously big up to her for sharing this, and I hope I am actually alright to share this, Annette. But she recently rang me up the last couple of days in tears because her best friend she's known for over 30 years passed away due to suicide.
Yeah,
and obviously those what you mentioned, Andrea. This is what she put.
Wow. And Annette, my sincerest emotions, because I lost someone. The anniversary was yesterday, the same thing. And you can't judge a book by a cover, and that's what.
No, you can't. No.
You know, we don't know the circumstances or incidences or occurrences at that moment when they chose or chose not to do something. And the only person that we have, the only title that can judge us, if they even do, which a lot of us have faith that they don't, is the higher power, the universe, whatever you believe. That is not our role. We are here to help others, pay it forward, listen, love unconditionally, and just be there. And imagine what the world would be like, going back to the Beatles of John Lennon's Imagine. Why can't that be? There's more of us than, as Adam said, in society. Once we have that epiphany, that awareness, hey, you know what? Somebody may just need that virtual hug. Somebody may just need that, how are you doing today? It's funny. I am a woman of integrity and passion. I grew up from a up-and-coming development country and came to America at 11 months old. I've mentioned that before. The only reason to say that is not to brag, but to say I will never forget my roots from where I came from. I have no knowledge, no photographs, no medical records of my parents. And when we just realize someone out there is listening, someone is out there is watching, and we have the ability to have impact.
Yeah.
I started reaching out to people via text or message or DM. You know what happened? A couple of my close friends specifically said, take me off of your auto text spam. I said, pardon me? They said, take me off of the auto text. It's interrupting my day. Or it's take me off of the tag list. I said to them, you know what? I'm sorry you feel that way. It's actually a heartfelt emotion or text that I'm sending to you every day, because if I'm not reaching out to someone to see if they're all right, then I'm not doing my calling.
Yeah.
So, Annette, thank you. Prayers are with you always. Healing.
Absolutely.
Live his legacy as I'm living my friends, by sharing the memories, the laughs, the joys. That's how we keep people alive. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what's in their mind, because what's in their mind matters, but it's the matter in their mind that can be chaotic that we don't see.
And this is, this is why we do what we do, isn't it? You know, because it's about saying to people, it doesn't matter what it is you're going through at the moment, there are always people out there that will listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the worst thing we can do is to just bottle things up and say nothing.
Yeah.
Because that negative, that awful, that accumulation of negative emotions and the thoughts and everything else going on, it's so damaging. It really is. You know, I mean,
it's toxic.
Even before we get to that point of going, I've had enough.
Yeah.
You know, there's all that struggle, that pain, you know, going on inside, and yet we cover it up. We wear that mask, those masks that you mentioned earlier, Adam, don't we? We wear those masks, and as far as anybody's concerned, everything's fine, you know.
Because we don't want to burden people.
Yeah. And again, this is why it's so important that we do the kind of thing that you do, Andrea. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be on a daily basis, but on a regular basis. Hey, how are you? Particularly people that are perhaps living on their own.
Yeah.
You know, elderly relatives, elderly neighbours, even, you know, somebody they haven't seen for a while, just pick up the phone. How are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't take 10 seconds to do that.
Yeah. And the beauty of it, it's free. It's a random act of kindness that can mean the world to someone. You know, I have a business. I work from home by myself. My family's out 2/3 of the day. They don't come home until 3 or 6 in the evening. And I have to get outside into the community. And I will say hi to someone. I will, you know, say hi to the dogs or what have you. But it's because it's that human connection, that interconnection. We're not supposed to be permeable islands separated. We're supposed to connect with one another and really genuinely ask, how are you? And mean it. Not just to say, well, I did my dues today. Or not, well, they didn't ask me how I was doing. It's not a game. It's not a competition. And the more we realize that we are there, and I saw Annette's post that he saved you, then I'm grateful you're here, Annette. Carry his legacy and your legacy on. You're still here for a reason. And we must find that reason, because that reason will totally make a world of difference when we understand what our calling, whether it's drawing, singing, doing a podcast, connecting with individuals all around the world. I'll be honest.
You want to hear me sing?
Right? That's next week's challenge.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You heard it, Carrie. You heard it, Carrie. This is live. I've got footage. So what we're going to do is, it's important because we have to understand a lot of us are living from our 5 to 7-year-old selves.
Yeah.
And I want us to take a moment and to take that image of your 5-year-old self and look at it and say, you deserve the best. You deserve a life worth living. And you know what's going to be amazing? Is that you're going to be someone, not a nobody. You're going to be somebody and have impact. And you have that mindset every morning that you're waking up for a reason, regardless of what that time is. You make that connection with someone. You've done your due diligence for the day. Because think about it. When the world shut down, it was isolated. People were with their abusers, their predators, the people they didn't understand. Or, like Adam said, they were isolated by themselves, or Terry, or both of you mentioned, by themselves, with either their fur babies or just themselves. We're not meant to be like that. And the more we have awareness that without credit, without expectation, because when we put expectations upon others, we constantly get disappointed.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, we've got to just let go of.
Yeah.
It's not expectations, not just expectations of others, is it? It's about sort of, you know, when it's like when the lockdowns hit, and you know, no doubt, so many people out there like me had stuff booked in their diary, things planned and everything. And overnight, all of that disappeared.
Yes.
All of that disappeared. So it's like, it's great plan things, and it's great to look forward to stuff.
Right.
But we've got to be prepared for the fact that, you know, if something does happen, or when something does happen, because it will do periodically, you know, not every, obviously, but we've got to realise that, you know, if we put too much expectation on those things going exactly to plan, and it doesn't happen, that's when the disappointment sets in. That's when we start.
Absolutely.
And that's when we start going down that deep hole.
Yeah. And it's you prep for the worst and hope, you know, wish for the best, you know, and you live in the moment. I know everybody heard that cliche, but you know, I'm a planner. I will plan out. And if I don't plan something, I do my best to plan that morning. But I'm starting to realize as I get older, you know what? I'm so focused in the future. I'm missing the journey. I'm missing the presence.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what fell in love last Friday when I was with Andrea and Adam. I was like, I got to come back on. This is awesome. This is the energy that it's about. This is the community I want to be a part of. Because even though Adam, you know, got drenched the first week and stumbled on his words the second week, it's all good in nature. But it shows I have not met either of you or Andrea, but we have a common thread. We want to have fun, educate, and really show a different perspective of how life can be. And once we step outside of that box, create more opportunities, create more experiences, and learn from our audience, that's what's going to make everyone elevate and transform. And you know, we want to go to an evolution. We don't want to devolve anymore.
No. We are constantly evolving, aren't we? Everything is constantly changing. And if we don't move with that, if we don't evolve with that, we stay stuck, trapped,
right?
Where we are, who we are, where we are,
right?
We're just not gonna. We're not going to achieve the things that we want to achieve. We're not going to really properly, fully enjoy life.
Right.
And this is what I was going to say earlier, because you mentioned society, and obviously I do have my views on things, as Kerry knows, which I'm not going to dive into. But
why not?
Because I'll get this channel shut down. Let's just say that. But I get it, there's people out there, and to be honest, there are people out there that like me, hate me, and to be honest, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't, because to me, that's their ego and that's their problem. But for change to happen, you mentioned unity. That's what needs to happen, unity. So all egos, opinions, views, all that needs to be pushed aside and stand together for the sake of the next generation.
I was going to say
it's doing that cycle.
Yeah, that one word, unity, that's been in my head for weeks now.
Yeah, rising.
Years for me.
Weeks and weeks. And I keep hearing the John Lennon song that you mentioned earlier, Andrea.
Imagine. Yep.
You know, there's a couple of other songs by a couple of other artists.
Bob Marley.
Yeah. all the greats who have moved on.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, it is very much about, you know, people just coming together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. You know, I traveled a few years ago to Ireland, and I stuck out like a sore thumb, but it was all good. But it was just familial oriented. Sure, they had what they call crack over there, their sarcasm, but once they broke the shell, then it was just living in unity. And the more we realize that, and one of the key points that I feel is so powerful is, and I had to do this, question, be bold enough, brave enough, and honest with yourself to question your morals, ethics, and values.
Yep.
Why? Yeah. Because we may carry them from our childhood, from our upbringing, from our family, from our, you know, surroundings and environment. But when you do a double check and say, wait, do I really believe in that, or do I not? Is it because of my family? Because I have my family knows it. I mean, God rest my soul, my mom's passed, but they know I've changed my viewpoints. Yeah. And to go to what Adam says, it's not, you know, ego, opinions. Everybody's got one. but it's how you present it. One of my greatest mentors said, you know, my bosses in one of my fields, industries and social work psychology, said, you could serve filet mignon and a beautiful lobster tail, but if it's on a dirty plate, it doesn't matter. It's the
that Les Brown.
Yeah, and it's the presentation of it. It's how you connect with people, knowing your audience. And Adam, I challenge you to push that envelope there. And if you, the only way you make waves is when you have people go against you, because you are challenging and making them think outside the box.
Oh, I've already challenged people.
Yeah.
I've challenged people.
And it's not a negative thing. It's just,
no.
Can you take off your blinders for a few moments? Take off I go in there, the programming, and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why do I believe this way? Why do I act this way? Am I really doing a disservice to myself by not being who I truly am based on my false limiting beliefs and my adversity and community that has provided influences on me? Or am I building my identity to really question who I really am? Because when was the last time? I know you guys, I could feel your energy through the screen. Oh my gosh. But when you,
I'm dying to say something, that's why.
I'm almost done. I'm done. Both of you are bright red right now on my side. So I can feel the energy.
I'm always red.
But question yourself. Why do I like this music? Why do I wear this clothing? Why do I be this way? Learn how to stick out and be identified as you, as opposed to a chameleon with everyone you are with. All right, go ahead, guys. I can feel your energy.
Got ladies first.
Oh, blimey. I forgot what I was going to say now. No, I haven't.
Mary forgets, never.
No, I mean, you know, I'm there with you every step of the way there.
Yeah.
With everything that you've said there, Andrea. Yeah, that was brilliant. It's I mean, we all know, I think, deep down inside what feels right, when something sits right with us and when it doesn't. And we can also experience that confusion as well with not knowing, well, you know, this bit sounds right, but then the next bit doesn't, and that bit feels right, but then this bit doesn't.
Right.
And it's being able to put everything all together. And I know from my own experiences that I've been through that. But equally, there have been times where I've just known deep down inside that this is right.
Yeah.
But this is right for me isn't necessarily this is right for the next person.
Right.
And it goes with everything that you said about it, you know, our own individual upbringings. What have we carried forward? What have we taken with us that we've learned from our parents? And obviously our parents will have learned from their parents, and their parents will have learned from their parents, and it's
so on.
That's it. Until somebody
breaks the chain.
Breaks that chain and does something different, or believes in a different way, thinks in a different way, behaves in a different way, that will carry on. And this is where I see the issue with society as a whole.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I won't go on and on about it, I promise. I could, but I won't. But no, that's what needs to happen. Is that chain of events, that pattern.
Yeah. Rituals have to shift.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. You know, this is why I do what I do. I love challenging people on certain things. If it's a belief that's not helping them,
right?
You know, I will challenge them on it. And I will get them to dig deeper and deeper and deeper.
Oh boy. Me and you would change the world in like 2 seconds.
Can you
unlike people, but it's great because we know
Yeah.
we've struck a chord. We've got that root cause. Oh, okay. But what if you did it this way? I do it this way. Yeah, but what if you did it this way? I did. But wait a minute. What if you did it this way? And to kind of go off, and then Adam, I don't want you to lose your thought. Pardon me, but it's not that it goes back to what I said before. It's not that what our influences or past parents had done was wrong. They're just following suit.
Yes.
And they haven't had the courage, the knowledge, or the ability to have free will and say, wait a minute, do I agree with that or not? You know what I mean? And it's us, it's a matter of these individuals now to break the chain and shift the mindset, shift that paradigm, shift that habitual ritual and say, well, what if I stepped with my left foot today first instead of my right foot? Adam, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly, in free will, because that's what we've got now. Two things. Firstly, I am going to change me, because what you see, you ain't going to see this for much longer, because I'm actually finally growing my hair again. I'm actually going to grow it. But how? If it lets me, I don't know with my age, because I'm going bald. But who knows? But secondly, because obviously I am a SEN parent, and I know my kids' identities and future have been affected, and this is why the council won't talk to me anymore, because I've challenged them for years. Yeah. But I know they're going to ignore me. But next week, I've actually got a meeting with my local MP surrounding this. So there you go. If something happens from that, who knows? Because he did actually.
Something's going to happen. It's just which way does it go?
Yeah, well, he emailed me today saying, "Do you want me to put the complaint?" And I'm like, "No, I want to meet him." Yeah. So I've actually challenged him.
So you see, in this particular instance, because you're looking at you're dealing with authorities who have a set procedure to follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Anything that changes in that procedure has to come from above.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas we, as individuals in our own lives, if we want to change something, we don't have to get anybody else's permission to do it.
Right.
No.
All we need to do is to give ourselves permission to do
exactly.
it. And
that's why I did what I did.
Yeah, and this is the thing, you see. But we come full circle to that. We're looking for external validation. We're looking for external permission to do something, and we don't need it.
Right.
Well, absolutely, because obviously, like, I've got a picture which I'm looking at now of my granddad, who I was very close with. Now, he's passed away when I was a child, and obviously my own narcissistic mother stopped me from going to the funeral, saying goodbye the lot. And to be honest, I forgive her for that. And I forgive myself for that. But I've actually spoken with my granddad since, because I'm into all the spirituality and that. And he's actually reassured me everything's all right, and he understands why. So there you go. And now he won't leave me alone.
He's got your back. Really. Yes. He's got your back. Yeah.
And
he's got my back. I love him, really.
And to marry both of your statements, permission, forgiveness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give permission to, hey, you know what? That's the life, the era, the reasons, the definitions. We don't know them at that time. We forgive them. But by all means, we're going to make a difference. We're going to make a change. We're going to shift the channel. We're going to change.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the ability that we have for ourselves. And that's what we have to realize, that we have that ability. We have that opportunity. And when we, as you're doing, Adam, is giving the, I don't want to say ultimatum, but the options. Hey, you know what? Let's have a meeting, because text is one thing. Text is not personal. Text can be either, dictating or, just, apologetic. When you have an in-person meeting, again, it circles back to that community, that unity. Hey, look, I'm just a dad. These are my concerns. You know, are you a father? Are you, you know, do you have children, or, you know, what have you? You know, how your father was. When you connect on a level of a relationship, of a personal interest or connection, that is more powerful than any text. I
Absolutely.
do messages, but I will be more likely to do a quick video chat, a quick, you know, connection, virtual connection, or if I don't have the ability at that moment in time, I will voice record so they can hear the tonality of my voice, because that's another quality of the human connection.
Yeah.
Text, email is so informal, sometimes necessary and the only option. But do your due diligence to follow up with an audio call or a video call so you can get that well-rounded connection.
I prefer the videos. I
Yeah.
prefer video.
Yeah, you know, and that's going to help people as it helps individuals, because we are living in a two-dimensional world. As much as we don't think it is, it is. It's oh, stay home, I'll just drop it off at your door. Stay home, I'll just drop your package, I'll drop your food, I'll drop whatever. And it's just like, oh, self checkout. I'm just like, well, I'm wearing a lot of hats right now, and I'm an isolated island doing everything myself. Where's my tip? Where's my employee check, you know, for self-serve?
Exactly.
So when we go to, everything is 3 points that I want to bring to light, is adversity and identity. The first point is identify who you're talking with and identify with who you are, number one. Number two, if there is adversities between any connection, corporate, business, family, personal, or even with self, look at them, be bold enough and brave enough to write them down, and then dismiss them completely. And thirdly, act with authenticity and integrity from the heart. You can't go wrong. Trust your intuition. It will never steer you wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go on, Kara.
What?
I know you died to say something.
I have absolutely nothing to add to that whatsoever, because I think Andrea's completely hit the nail on the head with all of that. All I was going to say is get in touch with your own human GPS.
Yes.
Exactly.
Guidance system, the intuition, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Last question. 3 words. If you have 3 words to say to your younger self, what would they be?
I love
Andrea.
you.
Oh, me? 3 words? You got this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm knackered now.
So what was that riddle I told you to say?
I can't remember now. Throw it. I'm not repeating it.
Okay, no problem. It's all right.
Well, is it here? Oh, I've actually got it here. But I'm not going to read it.
Okay, cool.
Right. Who've I got on next week? I've got Andrea. Alison Fry, who's going to take us through Wonderland.
Ooh.
With her traumatic story.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to Wonderland!
You know, I never saw that movie.
Alice in Wonderland, you've never seen it?
No. As a diehard Disney fan, I never saw it.
You're going to have to tune in next week, then.
I'll tune in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right, guys. Thanks, everyone. I know there's more comments coming in, but yeah. Right, I will see you all later. And please share. See you later.